look who's here, Kyle Lowder. He fell out of the sky in underwear, paper underwear. Oh, I'm sorry, aluminum underwear.
Start this?
Yes, he fell out of the sky.
It's true, it happened.
He was a gym, but yeah,
happened.
you're a champion. Yeah. So it's really great to have you back on Days of Our Lives.
I'm just playing with
And what's so fun about it is he's playing another role.
Yeah,
So they had to
I know.
set it up, and in your first episode, you kind of tell the tale of Rex.
It was beautifully done because it was basically exposition, me saying, okay, folks, this is what happened and this is how it went down and all this kind of stuff, but they put it into the dialogue and conversation piece, and I actually thought it was well written.
I did too.
And well done, so it didn't look like I was broke the fourth wall and said, okay, folks, we're going to catch you up, you know what I mean?
But I think it's good that they were in on it.
Yeah.
I think if you bring them in on it, it's cool.
You have to do that,
Right.
because then you set up the one-liners that subsequently happen where somebody's just like alien or like tinfoil underwear, you know what I mean?
Right.
Then people understand where it came from.
Yeah.
It also helped me too, because I felt the need to be like, I'm playing a different role now, and this is Rex, this is how it went down, and like Ron's, I was saying this downstairs, like Ron, it's like putting me and Eric Martzoff in that scene right off the bat.
Perfect.
It's like, let's not ignore the elephant in the room, we're going to call this out, we're going to end right away and get it over with. And that's what I love about Ron and his writing, and he was just like, wink wink to the past, we're not going to be like, never happened.
You can't.
You know what I mean?
You can't.
Can you acknowledge the fact
that this is happening? People are stupid.
Exactly.
We know the soap fans are not stupid.
Or I would be sitting there going like we can't pretend, that. So, and Ron knew that. That's why I love him as a writer too, because he's just like, F it, we're gonna do this.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you come in, and then right away.
I know, it's like shot out of a cannon.
Shot out of a cannon, and he's already the girl walks out on him, and the wedding. Baby Bonnie is really his.
It hasn't been 2 weeks, and I'm already defending myself.
He's already a crappy character, but he's really not.
Already fighting an uphill battle. No, I prefer it this way though. As long as I'm in constant contact with the producers on this, or I'm and then Ron through the producers, where I'm like, look. I'm always going to do what's on the page. Make sure that I'm doing what you want me to do, because it's easy when you play these roles to kind of maybe get a little bit too evil or too unlikable or whatnot. You never want that to happen. You never want to get to a point where your face pops up on the screen and the fans are like, ew, I don't like this guy, ew. You know what I mean? So in the midst of all of his transgressions, if you will, which more will be coming.
I'm sure there's many. I can't wait.
It's not
probably a time.
It's not over, folks. He just started. All the while, I talked to Albert because he's on the floor.
Right.
Albert Alar, every day I'm like, are we good? And he's just like, no, we're good. So it just is, I just want to constantly make sure that what they talk about in their writers' meetings, I'm giving it to them. Yeah.
Now here's another thing. I've never thought in my life I'd see you play a doctor, but that's a whole other thing.
You and me both.
Are you using medical jargon?
Yeah, it's
anesthesia.
I have a newfound respect for these Grey's Anatomy or an ER, any.
How do they do that? I know the dialogue,
and I don't even have it remotely close to what they have to do on a daily basis, but I'll have one little stanza, and I'm like, and our show, you can't mess up on our show
because we have no time.
You have to do this, so it's that pressure on top of it. I'm like, oh my god, come on, we have to insert. You know what I mean?
Did you have you had a word that you couldn't say?
Not just a word, but like a phrase.
A phrase.
We need to push 300 cc's of something. Yeah, it's intense. It's cool, but I will say the first day that I had to play this doctor, you put on the scrubs or the white coat or whatever. It felt like Halloween. I was like, I'm not it. I went up to Janet, our other producer on the floor.
It's I'm not a
Janet
doctor.
Ryder, and I went to her and I was just like, be honest with me. I was like, when you saw me on screen doing this, do you believe this? And she's like, yes, I actually do. And I'm like, okay. Because I don't believe it yet.
Right.
It took me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because look at me.
Okay. I asked Nadia if you'll break out into song anytime soon.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
I'm kidding.
We'll see.
I'm kidding.
I'll see.
I'm kidding.
That worked, and it once upon a time. You know what I mean?
Right.
We were kids, we were young, we were prancing through the gazebo.
Prancing.
We were prancing, let's be honest with what it was. Right. I was prancing on national television.
Right.
I don't know, we'll see. That's another Ron thing that I love. I'm involved in like a lot of different little stories with many different characters, and there's always this kind of wink wink to the history I do have on the show. So we'll be I don't want to give too much away, obviously, but yeah, in the past 6 months that we've been shooting, because we're that far ahead, I've worked with her where he puts just enough emphasis on the past,
Right.
without like going there full bore and planting seeds, if you will, which is really, really cool. I like that about his writing style.
So now that Sarah's kind of told him to go whatever himself,
Well, for now. Yeah. Like, we're both still on the show at this point in time.
I still think they'll find their way back to each other at some point.
But that's the beauty of it. It's like they'll find their way. I'm not giving anything away. I'm just saying, like,
Not saying they
in the
will.
annals of
in
soap
the annals of
history,
soap
they will
history.
find their way back, and then he'll mess it up again.
Yes.
And then they'll find their but then somebody else will come into the picture and like, ooh, I don't know, maybe I like them better. You know, it works. But it's fun to do.
Yeah.
Because you put your heart and soul into something and be like, well, this is gonna work. Not me, the actor, but the character. Like, I want this. Oh, but you're pretty.
Right, but how about you?
Okay, well, she doesn't want me anymore, but this could work.
This could work.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy he is. But again, to make that charming is not an easy task.
Yes.
You know?
So are we supposed to like him?
Of course, I don't want you to not like him. I want you to be. I'm not
the
defending
jury's
these-
out.
I'm not defending these actions, obviously, these transgressions, if you will. Yes, what he does is not
He's
cool.
unfaithful.
Don't
now-
cheat on your significant other and have a child with in the midst of the affair.
Okay, you think?
But don't do that. Public service announcement.
Like PSA.
But in this fantasy world, forgive the person who does do it. Okay.
Okay. So.
But in real life, don't forgive them.
Don't
because
forgive
it's
them.
awful. But
Yes,
like
it's terrible. But on Days of Our Lives-
Salem, give them a pass.
Everything happens in
give
Salem
them
in Days of Our
Give
Lives.
him a pass. Yeah.
So you came back to Days of Our Lives. Is this something you had wanted to have happen?
Yeah,
Was
I
there-
did.
I mean, were you like,
You know
were
when it started, Michael?
lobbying for it or wanted to happen?
I think there's an aspect of that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I was in Vegas for a year doing the show, and then I went to New York. And when I got back to LA, I wasn't thinking about it until I started working with Ken
On
on
Ladies of
his.
LA.
Even before that, we were doing this.
Other
I
stuff.
did some music for him.
Yeah.
He wrote the book. You know the story. Long story short, got the book, read it, and was like, "Wait a minute, this is like really cool. We can do something." It's when I reconnected with Ken that he started talking about the storylines that were going on and the show again. And it's like an old relationship. You break up with a person, you move on. Until you start seeing their social media, and you're like, oh,
Why did I do?
I kind of missed that, you know? And that's when my juices started like flowing again with Days, and I'm kind of like, so I started asking the questions, well, what's going on with this and with that? And then I got bit by the bug again, and I was like, obviously I can't play Brady, but could this ever work? And he's like, it could definitely work. So what I've been saying today is that like it started out like a simmer, and then like a little bit of a rolling boil, you know what I mean? And then I was like, yeah, you know what? I do want this. Let's see, but I don't know how it can work. I don't write the show. I don't want to step on toes. And then we knew it would take. We needed the right character and the right story at the right time. And as you know, being in this business forever, like that takes time, and all the pieces have to kind of find their way together. And then they eventually did. And yeah, then one day I got the phone call, and Ken was hilarious. He was just like, "We got the role, we got the story, we got the time." And I said, "What is it?" And he's like, "Well, I'm not going to tell you until you
Say yes.
say yes, because I'm
You're
not
like,
going
what
to
am
give
I
it
saying
away."
yes to?
So it was like chicken
You
before
weren't
the
worried you were going to play like a slasher?
Well, it's like
or
the chicken
something?
before the egg. He's like, you have to agree to come back. And I was just like, well, what am I doing? He's like, I'm not telling you. So I said yes, absolutely, let's do this. And then he told me, and I was like, oh, thank God, that sounds amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's great to have you back. So what are the
Thank you.
fans saying to you the most out there? What are you hearing them say to you? You da 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 da.
Honestly, again, their words, not mine. It's meant a lot to me. They've all been so supportive of this. So like, we don't care. Enough time had passed, and Eric made that role his
100%,
own to the
yeah,
point where all the pieces were in place for them to say, like today, and on social media and everything. So thank you. Like, it wasn't about like we don't care who you play or who you were going to play. Like, we just wanted you back in Salem. Which means a lot to me. That like in the time that I was here before, that I made much of an impact. That people wanted that, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. So if you want to see more of Kyle, watch Days of Our Lives weekdays on NBC. Happy 53rd anniversary,
Happy
Days of Our
50
Lives.
yeah, happy
Watch
53rd.
all the fun content with him on the new Jewel app,
Yes.
which is coming.
Jewel app is
Insane, guys! It's so good. It's so good.
Having so much fun with
Get
it.
it.
Get
No,
it.
really, you guys killed it.
Yeah, it was great.
It's amazing.
Yeah, download it now. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you,
good to
as
see you.
always.